Hey everybody, just wanted to come on here and share how I discovered that my perception isn't reality. Oh, I was playing golf with a friend of mine about heck, it's probably been about 15 years now, 15 years ago, and I think we got to like the ninth hole, and he just asked me point blank. He says, I don't understand why you play golf. He says, you obviously hate the game, and so that was kind of like I don't know. I guess it was an opportunity to take a look at myself, and a few months later, I was in a bookstore looking for a book, and I was explaining to someone that I'd met at the bookstore the book that I was looking for, and she turned me onto this book that was probably in my opinion the best book that I could have read at the time, and it wasn't the book that I thought I was looking for. Anyway, I read the book. It's by T. Harv Eker, and I think the name of the book is The Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. Anyway, he's got this part in the book, and it says, don't complain about anything inwardly or outwardly, because when you do, you become a living, breathing crap magnet. And so he kind of explained, he says, can you imagine, a millionaire, on the dock, complaining about a scratch in his yacht? Most people ain't gonna care, and and he said, that guy isn't going to do that because he recognizes the detriment about complaining. And so he says, here's a little experiment for you. He goes, try going the next 3 days without complaining about anything, inwardly or outwardly. And so I think in the book it actually says 7 days, but I remember it as 3, so I can only relay to you the experiment that I did was for 3 days, and at the end of those 3 days, what I found was that I complained a lot more than I ever would have admitted to. And 2 was that when I didn't complain, that next thing to complain about didn't come rushing in. Example was that on the 3rd day I played a round of golf, and the fact that the complaints didn't come out of my mouth were about the best I could do at that time. I mean, I couldn't help the thoughts that came into my head, although I could keep my mouth shut when I felt kind of that uneasiness or that frustration about hitting a bad shot. Anyway, what that did was it allowed me to play a round of golf that was better than I had probably played the game ever. I think I had like 4 pars in that round, which was 4 or 5 pars, and that was a good amount of pars for me. I remember getting a birdie. I don't remember what hole it was on, but it was like a par 3. I didn't even make the ball to the green, so it was maybe 5 yards off the green, and I chipped it in the hole for a birdie. And I know that for me, that just kind of gave me evidence that there's something to that, not complaining about anything. And and so it was like when you don't complain about that thing, that next thing to complain about doesn't come rushing in. And I've kind of let that thought just play in the background ever since then. And today I find a lot less things to complain about. And driving in the car used to be one of those places where I would just I'd express my opinion, while the windows are up, or I would give people hand gestures that weren't very polite. But anyway, what I noticed is when I stopped doing that, that I have less reason to even consider it, because the drivers that I was attracting back then it's not the same drivers that I'm encountering today. I mean, occasionally somebody comes along and they cut you off, but if I can just breathe and just accept that that's the way some people drive, it doesn't become every other driver on the road. And so yeah, just some food for thought. Thank you.